In the name of Allah, in this lecture we are going to talk about reproduction, growth and development. We are going to start our lecture with introduction to human reproduction, then we are going to discuss about female and male reproductive systems, and we are going to talk about fertilization, fetus development, and finally birth. We all know that reproduction generally means the action or process of making a copy of something. So as a definition, we can say that it's the biological process of producing a new individual or an offspring, basically. There are two types of reproduction, sexual and asexual reproduction. About the sexual reproduction, we can say that it involves two individuals from the same species, and usually they are male and female. They are producing some eggs and sperms, like we can call them as gametes, and after fertilization they are making zygotes, and then this zygote grows to be an embryo. This is the way sexual reproduction works. And about the asexual reproduction, we can see that it involves only one parent, and usually it occurs in single cellular organisms or organisms having only one cell, and some plants basically. We all know that humans are reproducing by the mean of sexual reproduction. In this reproduction, two individual parents are involved, and in the type of reproduction, these parents are producing gametes or sex cells. In females, sex cells are egg, and in males, sex cells are sperms. By the fusion of these two sex cells, they can make a zygote, and this zygote grows to be a new offspring or individual. And basically this new offspring is different from their parents according to their genotype and phenotype both. And the other thing we have to know is that the reproductive system in male and female are different, and we are going to discuss about each of them specifically, starting with a female reproductive system. About the female reproductive system, we can say that the female reproductive system is active before, during, and after fertilization, and it consists of the following parts that we are going to discuss about each of them, starting with the ovary. There are pairs of ovary, as you can see, one here and the other is in the opposite side of it, and ovaries produce and store ovum or eggs in it, and the other function of ovaries are to produce a certain type of female hormone, which is estrogen. The second structure that we are going to talk about is fallopian tubes. There are two fallopian tubes. The main function of fallopian tube is to connect ovaries with uterus, and also fallopian tubes are the sites of fertilization. The next structure that we are going to discuss about is uterus. About the uterus, we can say that it's the site of the development of the embryo. And the next structure is vagina. About the vagina, we can say it's the part which connects the cervix to the external female body part, and it's the roads for the penis during coitus as well as the fetus during development. Female reproductive system has two functions. The first function is production of female gametes, that we can call them as ovums or egg. So we should know that the production or development, or we can say formation of female gametes, occurs in ovaries, and this process, the process of formation of these gametes, are being called as oogenesis. During the puberty, the eggs in the ovaries start to mature, and one of the ovaries release the matured ovum in every 25 to 30 days, and it is called ovulation. At the same time, hormonal changes prepare the uterus for pregnancy. If ovulation takes place and the egg isn't fertilized, the lining of the uterus shades through the vagina, and this is being called as menstrual period. The second function of female reproductive system is providing nutrition and protecting the developing embryo. So as we said, after fertilization, when sperms fuse to the egg, it makes zygote grows to be an embryo, and the main function of uterus is providing food and protection for that embryo till the time of the birth. About the male reproductive system, we can say that it produces sperms, which is male gametes, and also about the sperms, we can say that they are unicellular structures with a head, middle piece, and a tail. Male reproductive system consists of testicles, which are a pair of oval-shaped organs masked in a pouch called the scrotum. They are responsible for the production of sperms and the male hormones called testosterone. The second part, scrotum. About the scrotum, we can say that this is a sac-like organ that hangs below the penis and behind it, and it is the house of the testicle. This structure maintains a temperature that is required for the production of a sperm. The next structure is vas deferens, which is a muscular tube. So we know that the sperm produced in testes and they are stored in a tube called epididyme. So here the sperm gets matured and also passed to urethra through the muscular tube called vas deferens. About the accessory glands, we can say that accessory glands includes 3 glands, namely seminal vesicles, prostate gland, and Cooper's gland. The secretion from the 3 glands mix from the fluid called semen, and semen nourishes the sperm, increase their volume, and help the lubrication during fertilization. The last structure that we are going to talk about is penis. About the penis, we can say that this is the cylindrical tube which serves as both reproductive organ and also an excretory organ, and it delivers sperm into the vagina during sexual intercourse. The process of fusion of sperm with egg or ovum to produce zygote is being called as fertilization. And we should note that the fertilized egg is being called a zygote, and zygotes start to divide into many cells and develop into an embryo finally. As you can see in the diagram, the process of cell division, and we know that the site of fertilization is fallopian tubes. When a fertilized egg lands in uterus, this process is being called as implantation, and after implantation, this zygote is developing to be a fetus. So basically we can say that when sperm fuses to an egg, fertilization occurs. After fertilization, zygote, the next process is the production of zygote. Zygote divides several times to be embryo. Embryo grows to be a fetus. About the fetus development stages, we can say at the week 9, fetal stage begins. At the week 12, sex organs differentiate. It means we can differentiate or identify the gender of the baby. At the week 16, fingers and toes develop. At the week 20, hearing begins. It means baby can hear whatever occurs around him or her. At the week 24, lungs begin to develop. At the week 28, brain grows rapidly. At the week 32, bones fully develop. At the week 36, muscles fully developed. And finally, the last week is week 40, in which full development occurs. That was all about reproduction and development. Thanks for watching.